Yo guys, what is going on? It is Invin here, and today what I'm bringing to you guys is something very, very exciting indeed. We have finally got the release of the New World roadmap. This is something that a lot of us have been super looking forward to for quite a while now, since it was announced with the last dev update video we saw towards the end of February, and we've finally had it released. Now, it was also released within the March dev update video, which I will be going over in tomorrow's upload because there's a lot of cool stuff to cover from there as well. But this is just amazing. There's some crazy cool stuff on this, and it certainly warrants a video of its own. So what we're going to be doing is looking into the roadmap itself, and I'm also going to be talking about potential things that are going to come with the roadmap. And yeah, it's very, very exciting. So as you can all see on screen, without further ado, we're going to bring this up so you can all have a good look at this. Now, before we fully jump into the video, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe down below, as it massively helps to support my content here. And let's jump into it. So as you guys can see, first of all is the spring update. This is the one that we're getting very, very soon, the Heart of Madness one, towards the end of March here. Now, two of these things, the Tempest Heart Expedition and the new weapon, the Blunderbuss, we already knew were coming. Very exciting stuff already, especially with the mutation being announced for the Tempest Heart. But 3v3 PvP arenas have been announced as well. This is crazy. We didn't know this was coming. A lot of us had speculated and said we'd love to see this. I've said many a time it'd be amazing to have in. And they've actually brought it forward. They're bringing it out now, which is crazy good. I'm really excited for this one. Now, we don't know whether this is going to be in the March update itself or whether it's going to be maybe in the April update. But it is coming in spring, so we should be seeing that over the next couple of months. Now, with that as well, we are also getting a PvP reward track. Now, this is really, really cool. It's going to reward, I assume, the 3v3 arenas when people get higher ranks. I'm assuming it's either going to have some sort of ranked or some sort of leaderboard system. Personally, would love to see that in. If it hasn't, hopefully they add that in pretty quickly, because that would be obviously the main reason for playing it. But yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be when you win more games, when you compete in more games, when you take part in more, etc. Win streaks, things like that. You should be able to earn rewards for this, whether it's going to be umbral shards, whether it's going to be cosmetics, whether it's going to be legendary gear pieces, cool new named items. Who knows? The possibilities are pretty much endless with what it could be, and hopefully in the 3v3 PvP arenas there is some sort of way to earn that umbral so you can progress your end game stuff as well, because that would make the game mode amazing. This sounds really, really fun, and I cannot wait to get hands on with that. Like the Tempest Heart Expedition mutations, brand new weapon, 3v3 arenas, spring is looking crazy good, and that's just from what we've seen so far. Now, moving into the summer section here then, this middle section, what we can see is that they have the Barnacles and Black Powder Expedition. This one, obviously from the image just above here, this green bearded fellow, and of course the name of it, we can assume that it's going to be pirate themed, which is very cool. It's again going to be an end game expedition similar to the Tempest Heart from what they said in the dev video. And this should be pretty cool. Again, hopefully we'll see a mutation with that. So we've got an extra mutation to kind of add into the mix, or an extra map for the mutations to add into the mix there. That's really, really cool. To top that off, they've also got the Expedition Group Finder coming out. Now, this is great for a couple of reasons. It's going to help people who are leveling or new players coming into the game to be able to access groups much quicker when they're still maybe making friends. You're probably not going to get into one of these end game kind of orientated companies. So actually being able to find a group through that system will be really cool. It'll be really, really good if it isn't server locked. If it's, you know, region locked or something, that would be awesome. But I don't know if that is actually possible. But obviously that would increase your time to find groups massively. Personally, I do think it is going to be server based though, because most of the other stuff, in fact everything else, is server based, so that makes sense. But either way, that's going to be really good. It's going to help you with umbral, finding them groups for the end game mutations, etc. And hopefully there'll be an interface in there where it displays your gear score, it displays your weapons, you know, what skills you've got active, etc. So you can see what people's setup is, what role they want to play, etc. when they queue for it. So that is something I'm really excited for. I think that will help the community aspect of the game massively, and will help people to progress a lot quicker with, you know, potentially increases to gear score, increases to level cap, etc. For those of you that didn't see, yesterday New World released this tweet, which obviously you can see is XP, or XP, with an incline arrow there, obviously next to a little fella here with charts in the background. It was dev update spoilers, so potentially we could be seeing an XP increase very shortly as well, and of course the group finder would help with that massively. And then the summer event. Now, from the background of this summer tab here, you can see a carnival type theme, similar to the Winter Convergence Festival, but summer themed. We can see hot air balloons in there. We can vaguely make out some sort of carnival tent, some banners, obviously the walkway in, lots of lights going up to it. So this looks really, really cool. And of course, they want to keep progressing and evolving their events, is what they said in that dev update video. So we can potentially see some brand new features coming with that event specific to it, and of course, you know, a build up from the Winter Convergence, the summer event. It should be pretty cool. Hopefully we get some really cool cosmetics with it. That's what I would like to see. Hopefully, you know, some ways to compete with friends, maybe a little leaderboards for some mini games or something. That would be amazing, but we'll hopefully wait and see for more news on that. But that overall seems like a very cool little kind of thing to get your teeth into in the middle section of the year here. And then heading back into autumn, coming up to that full year of release. It's a big one. We've got a lot of stuff here. We've got the Brimstone Sands territory. So for those that aren't aware, it's going to be the section next to Ebonscale Reach on the map. That sort of little connective piece there. It is going to be a sand territory. And again, the game director Scott Lane in the dev update video said that we are going to be seeing a new culture there. So new types of AI that we haven't seen before. And it's going to be a brand new culture. So looking at this dude in the background and the flags that he's got, it's looking like it could be some serious business over there. I think it is going to be a very end game place. It may even be a 625 item level place or gear score place. So who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But that sounds really, really cool. And then with that, they are releasing the Enid Expedition, which is going to be their brand new expedition in Brimstone Sands, which again is going to be the hardest expedition to date when it is released, which is super exciting because it means something to grind for. Again, if they bring a mutation out for that on the hardest one to date with some updated rewards, that could be insane. So I'm really, really excited to get teeth in on that. And I think potentially by that point, we may have seen a gear score increase or a level cap increase or something along those lines. So this could be even bigger and better. Very, very exciting. Now, something absolutely huge, literally and metaphorically, is the Greatsword. They have officially confirmed it with this post and with the dev update video, and that is going to be coming to the game in the autumn season. So that's going to be our next brand new weapon after the blunderbuss, and it's something that a lot of players have been waiting for. This is going to be super cool to try out. I'm very, very excited as someone who plays a bruiser class. You know, the great axes, the war hammers. This is going to be right up my street from the sound of it, and it's, you know, going to be a really cool looking huge sword, hopefully, that we can get hands on with and start swinging around, and that is something I will be very, very excited about personally. Obviously, underneath this, something massive that we've all been asking for and waiting for and hoping for: leaderboards. We're going to get leaderboards for PvP stuff. They also confirmed it would be for PvE activities, so, you know, you're gathering, crafting, something along those lines, maybe even expeditions, etc. It's going to be really, really good, and I think that's going to give us a nice competitive edge to the game, some friendly competition. Personally, I'd like to see, you know, some company leaderboards, so which best company, how many attacks they've won, how many defenses they've won, total wars done, something like that. Individual PvP stuff, particularly with the arenas, and then obviously open world kills, maybe kills in wars, etc., damage done total, something along those lines. And then obviously PvE expeditions, you know, top expedition run, quickest time on each different level maybe. It could be quickest M10 runs, it could be most mobs killed, and then you can have things like gathered, amount of items gathered, you know, amount of items crafted. Anything along those lines would be really, really cool, and it'd be awesome to compete against each other. With that as well, we could end up seeing cross-server leaderboards, so, you know, the wars, particularly which companies are winning the most wars globally, or at least regionally. That would be amazing to see, and kind of compete for the top spot globally or regionally would be amazing as well. And maybe that's not something we'll see on release, but into the future, who knows? And that is really, really exciting. So I think that's going to be a great addition to the game. Then underneath that, we're not even done yet. We're going to see the Night Vale Hallow event. So a Halloween event coming to Eternum. Obviously, this will be around the end of October sort of time, but this is very exciting. I love Halloween as it is, and with an event coming to the game, it should be pretty cool. We saw how they did the Winter Convergence. Like I said, we're going to see what they do for the summer event. By the time they get to Halloween, we should be looking pretty solid how they can run events, little mini games they can add in, extra things in the game that are really, really cool. And on top of that, we could see some really cool new cosmetics, some in-game item exclusives for the seasonal festiveness. And of course, we could see some Halloween skins in there as well, which would be amazing if we're able to earn them through the event. Very, very cool stuff. Now, finally, on this list here, we've got the Turcalon 2022 event. Now, for those of you that played the last one, you remember the giant turkey laying eggs everywhere that exploded, etc. Very, very cool indeed. They are bringing it back with a bang with some extra features, and that is going to be for Thanksgiving. So again, we'll see this one towards the end of the year, but it should be a very, very cool experience. I'm certainly excited for it. I want to see what new features they're going to bring to it. If they're going to bring new rewards, new enemies, extra stuff along that lines, it should be very, very interesting indeed. Now, what you will also notice along the bottom of this one right here, it says new mutators, quests, encounters, ongoing improvements, balance tuning, and bug fixes will be done throughout the entire period. Obviously, we'll be seeing that throughout the entire run of these updates, and these are just some milestones that they're aiming for. There could be extra content. It says this roadmap may change and does not include all planned content, so there could even be extra stuff. They mentioned in the dev video, again, Scott Lane was saying that they have a team dedicated to working on particularly things that have come from player-driven feedback. In other words, they could add stuff in at any point that they've managed to add into the game that people have been asking for, aside from the main stuff that they want to add as well. So we could end up seeing even more content than what is already here, which is absolutely incredible. Now, with that, we could see new mutators, so we could see extra elements, maybe lightning, maybe ice, different ones like that added in. New quests could be added in, whether this is legendary quests. I would assume there's going to be a legendary greatsword quest in there somewhere. Maybe a continuation of a new story when Brimstone Sands come out. I would assume, again, that that's going to bring its own new story, because we're kind of wrapping up the Isabella storyline-ish in spring. So once we've finished with that one, maybe this is where this guy comes in. He could be, again, a new enemy. He's got the red eyes, similar to Isabella, which could signify the corrupted. Maybe the flags could be the corrupted culture itself, who knows. This could be a really cool storyline that follows on from the main story here. We get a new main story coming in for endgame players, which would be amazing. Obviously, encounters, this could be pretty much anything, but the thing I'm hoping for is some more endgame roaming bosses, like we're going to see a few added with this March patch. I'm hoping that we see more of this sort of thing going forward. So again, if that's something that we could be seeing, maybe random events throughout the world, that is really exciting too. Ongoing improvements, balance tuning, and bug fixing. Obviously, they'll need to keep an eye on everything that's going on, keep fixing stuff, keep making sure that the game is running as smoothly as physically possible. So obviously, that'll just be an ongoing process, and I will keep you guys updated with everything that happens in New World going forward, as well as I have always been doing here on the channel. But this is super exciting. It's something I was really looking forward to, and honestly, it hasn't disappointed. Even some surprising stuff in the coming, maybe end of this month, maybe next month or the month after. But 3v3 PvP arenas is certainly something a lot of players are going to be excited for, including myself, and the PvP reward track, and the new expedition with a mutated variant, a new weapon. It's really, really looking cool, and I'm super excited to get on board with all of this stuff. So as always, guys, that is going to be it for the roundup of the roadmap. Like I said, I will make a video on the dev update video very, very shortly on the channel, so make sure you subscribed and stay tuned for that. And of course, any news, updates, announcements, all sorts of good stuff like that, tips, guides for all of the new content will all be here on the channel. So if you are new and you do want to watch more New World content going forward, please do drop a subscribe. It's completely free, and you can always change your mind later. Other than that, guys, that is going to be it. So as always, thank you very much for your time, thank you for watching, and I will catch you again very shortly on a brand new upload. Take care, guys, and peace.